Holidays are about joy, connection, gratitude, and celebration. Grief is often about sadness, isolation, anger, and despair. I have made a playlist to support grief and the holidays, and I will link that for you at the end of this video, as holidays and grief need some special attention. I'm Jo McRogers, a therapist who supports grief. My goal of doing grief differently is especially important during special days on the calendar. Holidays are grief traps. Holidays only serve to make the absence of our loved one that much more tender and challenging and traumatizing. So today, we will explore getting through the holidays with our grief. Most people who are grieving set the goal for the holidays to just get through them. It's like they're bracing for impact, or their tightly coiled posture, and a very protective mindset. So to meet that impact, I have 3 concepts to consider today: compartmentalize, give permission, and plan and prepare. So the first concept, to compartmentalize. Please remind yourself that this season will pass and that it will need a temporary and different approach to self-care. This is a tool called temporal distancing. Ground yourself in the present through recognizing the fact that the future does exist. This season will pass. The next concept speaks to giving permission. You don't need to defend or explain your grief anywhere or to anyone. It's okay just to be sad. It's okay just to say, thank you, no, I won't be coming. If you need to cover up, dismiss, or deny your grief in any place, then that is not a social situation for you to be in. However, if the invitation is from someone that you do feel drawn to, suggest to them that maybe we can connect in a few weeks. It's also important to recognize that grief and guilt have this parasitic type relationship. Parasites live off of other organisms, and as a result, they cause harm to the host organism. So think of grief as your organism, and that guilt is the parasite. Please give yourself permission. You can be grieving and still experience moments of joy and wonder and laughter without needing to feel guilt. Plan and prepare is the third concept, and I know that this is a really big ask when we are in that protective, shielding posture and mindset. So please bring awareness. Ask yourself, my biggest fear or vulnerability may look like, and fill in the blank. Be honest with yourself around what might challenge you the most during holidays. Also, please check in with what your own grief, holiday goals, and self-expectations might be. Are you asking yourself to just grin and bear it, or to keep busy as a distraction? Or are you conscious that you are not wanting to bring others down in the holidays with your grief? Have you decided that you're just going to dismiss or hide your tears and your true feelings? Just be forewarned, please, these are normal, natural goals, but these are all very tricky goals. So the third concept is plan and prepare. Please agree to attend any invitations with the provision that you may decline the day of. Please create some wiggle room for yourself. What feels right to say yes to today may not feel right the day of. If you do go, please design an exit strategy, and please do this for 3 different reasons. Planning creates options and a sense of what you can control. You then have a plan, and you don't need to invent it at a moment of critical distress. And the third reason is to have a strategy is productive, so that you aren't left with a sense of, oh, it was just a failure to perform. If you are making the decision to leave the gathering because of your strategy, rather than exiting with the sense of failure that you just couldn't do it or that you weren't strong enough, is going to serve you long-term in terms of feeling a sense of power and control and strength. Please arrive to any gathering stating, I can't stay long, but I did want to connect. This creates an automatic expectation that you may be leaving. Please rethink visits that involve a faraway trip and or being away from home overnight. Often our homes are our safe spaces when we are grieving. It's hard to get back there if you've driven 3 or 4 hours and it no longer feels right for you to be there. If you decide to have people into your home, please be very clear that the invitation includes timeframes of both arrivals and departures. Otherwise, you can't escape. It's in your own home. So please support yourself for a positive time with people in your space. The next consideration is for lost traditions and lost roles because of someone's death need planning. Who now carves the turkey? Who says the grace? Who lights the menorah? Who prepares the beloved recipes? Who shares the toast? Please identify what gaps exist because of your loss and plan how you can address those gaps. Please prepare for a higher level of stress and distress through the holidays. Make a list of your coping skills and behaviors and then use them prophylactically. Please be ahead of the grief game. Don't wait until you are falling into that abyss to utilize your strengths. Strengths can look like time alone, utilizing distractions, baking, crafting, running, swimming, breathwork, yoga, journaling, meditating, reading. Please make sure that space is protected for these strengths to be your baseline, not your rescue. Strength can be saying, no, thank you, I won't be attending. Strength doesn't mean meeting other people's expectations of you during the holidays, their expectations of you and your grief during the holidays, or meeting their expectations of what it is that they need to be able to bear your pain. They want you to have love and joy. Well, who's up for feeling fear and despair? And there's one last suggestion. If you are able, mentally, physically, financially, please give or volunteer. Serve a meal to a forgotten population, give a donation to hospice, to a children's hospital, a donation to a cause that your loved one held dear, animal sanctuaries, the environment. Buy a family a goat for sustainable living in a faraway country. Give to a women's shelter or support an addiction-safe injection site. The endorphins and the feel-good moments that can come out of you giving will help to support your current situation of grief and holidays. Please, it's also really important to honor who you are missing. You can do this publicly or privately. Your grief is coming along for the ride to the holidays, so please make space and expression for it. Rituals support us when words just aren't enough. So consider lighting candles, make a visit to the gravesite, reminisce with photos, ask people to send you a story of the person that you have loved and lost. Visit a place that they loved or watch a movie that they enjoyed, make their favorite meal. And if you're daring, listen to some of the music that you know that they loved. Music is hard, but consider that that might be cathartic for you. And as the days fly by on the calendar, or as the days feel like they take forever on the calendar, please stay with your feelings. Don't let your feelings accumulate into a landslide. During my many years as a social worker, supporting people, the frequent rhythm of holidays is people holding on through December until Christmas, say, hoping for a change in their lives. And then if that doesn't work, they then hold on until the new year, hoping for a change. And often the result is that a January letdown happens as the date in the calendars didn't change the state of your lives. So please be forewarned of the January letdown. I call it a grief hangover. So please plan for January as well as the holidays. January might in fact be more difficult and more challenging. So know that it's not just the dates on the calendar, it can be the after grief as well. Another guiding principle for holidays with grief is to simplify. Setting the goal of taking a shower may be how you recognize your loss and a challenging date on the calendar. It can be as simple as that. After my dad died, When I was 21, our family Christmas tradition became orange juice and champagne in the morning. And I will admit that originally this was to help take the sting out of his September death now in December. But years later, my sisters and I share this tradition with a sense of honoring, love, and connection. Honoring love and connection don't just happen casually or by accident. So please let's inspire one another. What has served you in surviving holidays while also hosting your grief? Please comment below and share. Please support yourself beyond the grin and bear it of the holiday season while grieving. And as the holidays approach, I send you kind thoughts, kind words, and a kind heart for moments of joy if that is possible. And if that isn't feasible, then I wish for you moments that suck less. Have a watch through my playlist for even more support around grief in the holidays. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.